Hello everyone, welcome back to another Ardent Roleplay art stream. I'm Lauren, I'm an illustrator for Ardent Roleplay, and today I'm working on some AR cards. The cards themselves aren't AR, but they are used as AR markers for, if anyone doesn't know what Ardent Roleplay is, augmented reality app for tabletop roleplaying. You can download the app from your mobile app store. So yeah, what I'm working on are some cards that you can see here. Currently we have high fantasy, a whole deck of high fantasy cards, and we do have Cthulhu cards. So today I'm working on cards for Call of Cthulhu, and we're going a rural theme. Last week I was working on this last stream I should say, and basically we got to a point where I'm going to leave it for now, because it feels like it's 90% done at the moment. So today we're going to be working on a new card. Anyone who didn't catch us in previous streams, we have different card types. So the knife card that I was working on was a weapons card. And today I was thinking of working on the pathway card. So go back to live drawing. So I've basically got a bunch of sketches that I did a while back. Sketching session. I'm a little bit old school, so I like doing some pencil sketches before getting into things sometimes, because it depends on about. Yeah, so these are some sketches I did, different cards for this. As you can see, that's the knife card that we just worked on. So this Roadway card is pathway card. So gotta open up. That gives you a bit of an idea what we're looking at here. But water is this border is from the previous suit. Was suit city theme, so we're going for rural this time, so the border will change. But usually I like doing a few cards before I draw up a new border, and borders are actually quite tricky. Up with. So what I'm going for with this one is I want the creepy element to be kind of rocks that are coming up. I want them to feel a little bit like tea thing. Yeah, and I'm thinking a night theme. Yeah, I think we'll go night theme. Maybe like early or late sunset or something. But we a bit early to talk about color right now because we have to do the line work first. Happy with that. So when I'm working on this template, I work to the line because that's a little bit in the border. This here is where the border roughly ends up, but I draw to the blue line just to allow that some bit of a breeze. Create a little layer and a mask so I know what. Essentially, because I had pencils. Back. started. So for these cards, I use a really basic brown brush. Then we put a filter on it at the end. I haven't actually shown that yet. I do that, so let's see. So at the end, eventually, I will flatten the get a filter. You guys can't see the drop downs. Like using the filter glass kind of distorts the image a little bit and lines kind of have been drawn. So there that's what it was. That's what it ends up being. So it just gives like a little rough edge so it looks more like it's hand drawn. So yeah, so that's why I use just a round brush for when I'm actually drawing. This was, the idea of this actually came from the other illustrator that worked on the first deck of High Fantasy kit, who came up with this idea because it meant that multiple illustrators can just work with a really simple brush and then at the end just put a filter on so our lines all look consistent, basically. A neat trick. I just go quickly in some things for anyone who didn't catch the last streams. So since these work as AR markers, these are the things I have to consider. Sorry if I'm repeating myself for people who've seen before, but basically the line work is really important for these cards because it's the yellow dots here are what the app basically picks up and uses to track how, so the model can actually move around with the card nicely. So yeah, the lines are really important for that. I can't have anything that identical marks because then the image markers can get confused with each other. And I also have to keep in mind my line width and weight because if the lines are too thin, then camera blur would just blur out those potential points that I could get. So now I think we'll start going. Where to start? I think I'll start in the foreground. So generally speaking, I use a much thicker brush for the foreground. And this is just basic line drawing theory that thicker lines should be in the foreground, and then as back further into the background, the lines get thinner. Let's get in. So people who aren't familiar with the Call of Cthulhu mythos, basically, it's a lot to do with the unexplainable or the like you can't comprehend kind of horror. Like it's very much otherworldly, cult themes, just things you can't explain that make you go insane. That kind of deal. So that's kind of what we're going for in these cards. And because we're going with that, try to include like little details that you might not notice straight away. The general idea of this is that there's going to be a little town here, maybe a farm and things here, like a really rural setting. Probably an opportunity. Some strange looking about it. Grass. We'll get some basic lines and details. I'm cutting out a little bit, Emma. That's annoying. Keep my voice up. That's hard. Okay. Could try and move it closer. Not that far from my face though. That looks like with the border. Okay, that's interesting. I don't like how cutting out too much. All right. Check difficulty. All right. Well, hopefully that's better. How's that? Is that better? Am I not cutting out now? Cool. So as I was saying, I don't like how yeah, I got a new mic, that's why we're having some technical difficulties. So I don't like how too close this is to being parallel with a border here. So I think we need to change the angle of that. And because I drew it on a separate layer, I can actually just mess with that a bit. Could also just take it off screen as well. And that's tempting. Alright, I'm gonna leave that for now because it might resolve itself. That's better, but I'm not 100% sold on how close, but this, it's just this gap here is a little bit awkward. So, we'll see how that goes. Oh no. My Photoshop does this weird thing occasionally, and I think it's doing it now. Hopefully it's not a problem. Okay. think I'll draw this tree inside here. Top the border. It's sometimes a bit messy when you put things right near the border, so to just see what things look like and see go from there. This is also not the final border, so is there any indication of what it look like in the end? Walk with that. And make the join a little bit knobbly. Spooky the trees better probably. Wow, that looks a bit strange. That's the problem when you got the border in there to give an indication of what it looks like, but then sometimes you forget to turn it off. I think we need a bigger line behind this rock. Just to move this rock in the foreground a bit more. So we want it to look like it's in front of that tree. There's definitely an opportunity here to be more wacky with my plant choice, I reckon. But we'll get to that, like especially in this area here. So as I move further away back here, I'm gonna start making my brush thinner and thinner. Obviously you can't go too thin. Probably want some dead leaves and things in here too. I should say, if anyone watching, if you have any questions or about my illustrations or Ardent roleplay, just shoot them at me and I'll answer them. Just made the brush smaller again. That's just a draggy rock right there. Cross in front. So since I can't go too small because then it reduces the, well, it increases the risk of lines getting blurred out by camera blur when it's trying to track the AR. There's going to be a point where I have to basically keep the same line width. I'm not super happy with this rock here. And I was silly and didn't put it on its own layers. I'm not sure why I'm unhappy with it. I think it's too narrow or something. Maybe it needs to tilt out more a bit as well. That's better. It's very spiky looking at the moment, which I don't mind because that's kind of what I'm going for. As you get further back too, we just, in general, just have a bit less detail as well. I want these rock formations to be a bit of open interpretation because they could be man-made, they could be some weird natural phenomenon. But the point is, it's the unknown with Cthulhu, so it works. it's going to get really easy to put too much detail into this. I think it's already starting to look too detailed. My lines have kind of possibly have gotten too thin too soon as well. I'll see what it looks like without the drawing underneath. Yeah, so it might be, in the previous one the challenge was the lighting, in the colouring, and this one might be the challenge is in how much detail I want to put in and getting that balance right. I'll keep moving along, but I have a feeling I'm going to have to revisit some of these details. I'm going to increase brush size slightly, just so I don't get in the habit of just getting too small here, because it's going to be a real danger of doing that. Debating what to do with the roots on this tree, because we have the opportunity to do some creepy roots coming out. Maybe up here. We should go for some knobbly looking trees. With strange twists in the branches. I'm pretty happy with how those branches are turning out. Bit of a spooky tree, which is what we're going for. It's a little bit top heavy, the trunk. So I'll see if making it smaller looks any better. I think that might be a bit better. Yeah. Yeah, I like that much better. Cool. So at the moment, the tooth-looking jagged rocks that are coming up aren't looking as pronounced as I pictured in my head. And I think that's because there's a bunch of grass, but I also think I need to play with some line width with those. Do a little bit of that now, but I think I'll have to revisit that towards the end as well. That's a bit better already. Alright, I'm gonna draw in this chunk here. I can't actually hear the stream, did your sneezing come up? Most of this tree trunk is actually going to be covered by the border at the end. And it's a bit awkward how it's curving this way, so we probably want it more curving that way. Fix that up. I like my bulgy roots, but this is the way it's cut off is a bit awkward. Thank you for the follow, R256. I'm just gonna find a card that I did for the Metro suit. Because there's probably gonna be some comparisons here. This is a card that I did in the previous Cthulhu suit. And I've kind of dealt with the trees a sort of similar way. They're quite a bit different, but I'm still going for the odd twists. I'm also going for night theme, so this is actually might end up being fairly similar. I'm colouring and everything, so you should take a look at line width while I'm here in comparison. It's really easy to go too thin with these cards. I think we're doing okay so far. But yeah, I have to be really careful with the lines in this section here are getting possibly a bit too thin. So I might just draw over those a little bit. Something is still bothering me about this rock in particular. I can actually isolate that to its own layer. Oh, that's right, I did that. That's annoying. Alright, what I'm gonna do is get that. Alright, because I was silly and didn't draw this rock by itself, I'm just gonna isolate that. Still not sure about this one. Yeah. It might have just been because it's too close to the road. I think it's because of how it's interacting with the one behind. These two kind of interact nicely together. They're at sort of different angles as well. These two, I think, are at the same sort of angle. See, that already looks better, I think. Grass is a little bit weird when I do that though, so I might have to redraw the grass. Yeah, I think it's because they look like they're coming out of the ground at the same angle. So it works better if they're slightly different from each other. It's tricky. I think the grass is distracting because it's at an odd angle now, so I'm just gonna erase that and redraw the grass. Thanks. Probably looking a bit odd too because it's very much a straight line at the bottom. Maybe that's not so bad. I think what I want from this is it to claw around a little bit more. That might be a bit too much. I want these rocks to look awkward, but it's you have to make it not look awkward as in you didn't draw it well. It look awkward in a different way. A creepy way. Now I'm not so sure about how much it curves around. Oh dear. Yeah, I'm probably getting stuck on a detail of that one. Probably should get to doing some more of the background so I can see what we're looking at here in terms of detail and alignments. I'm still bugging me about it. Maybe that's... Okay. Alright. Let's get back to drawing some more things. In my sketch I've got more trees back here, but I'm actually not sure about them. And that's partly because in future we'll probably have a suit that's a wilderness suit, so that will probably have a lot more trees, whereas maybe I want to have less trees in this one, just to make it a bit different. And then just have more farmland. Another jagged rock back here. That might be too big yet. Probably want one more jagged rock on this side, just so it's a odd number. It's probably way too small. Could actually put like a signpost up here somewhere, actually. Could be cool. Where would I put that? If I put a signpost in, I want to put it here, but then that's where I was going to put the windmill. I could put the windmill somewhere else. At this point it might be worth me just like quickly sketching in some things. Get a red. No, just make it a transparent black layer. Okay. I should really look up what windmills look like, just so I make sure I get this right. So one. Old school windmill here, maybe. suppose this road should actually curve around again at some point. Original sketch. This is like a little farm patch here. Also, if anyone in chat has like cool little ideas for little details that will make this more interesting or more creepy, feel free to give those suggestions. It just looks like some strange cubey thing. It's meant to be like a farm. Do like a little scarecrow here or something actually. Scarecrows are creepy. Especially if you're not sure if it's actually a person. When we actually draw in the final lines for the details back here, we want them to probably be very vague. Actually, probably would be more silhouettes, really. But we want like little rural township back here. I think some of the houses actually would be done in colour as well. Probably want an old church somewhere as well, actually. You need to turn off the sketching layer because I'm getting distracted by... Just want to remove those trees, but what's going to be there instead is the question. I'm always wondering if these buildings actually should be bigger. Will also make it easier to draw them as well, without getting too much small details in. We'll see what that looks like bigger. Yeah, that doesn't look odd to me, so that's good. Yeah, it's actually better bigger, I reckon. Cool. Okay. Maybe you could do some fence coming around. Meant to be a post. Bit fat. I like it, but it's very chunky. Process like awkward. Okay. Hey, Jacob. Oh no, the wife interacts with the stone. That's unfortunate. Art times are going good. Pretty chill. These posts are quite huge. I like them, but they're huge. Maybe it doesn't matter. Nice. Is that the game you're playing? Or are you, oh no, are you DMing? You have the Vault games, don't you? Nice. Alright, got some barbed wire there. Not 100% sold on that. Maybe that's better. Yeah, that's probably okay. It's just a little bit of a detail you notice. Go back to the sketching layer. So I could add a building here, I suppose. Some sort of run down building, perhaps. Maybe you can make it look like there's been a fire through or something. Would be cool. Do a quick Google on fire damaged barns or something. Yeah, so maybe we could do like a skeleton of a building maybe that's been burnt out, which could be cool. Might do that. And because it's off to the side, it might be like a nice little detail you don't notice straight away. I'm probably getting too detailed in this, by the way. Let's just do it and see what it looks like. feel like something else should be here. Just a spooky tree or something. At the moment this is feeling like it kind of opens itself up really quick. I'm not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I'm gonna try something real quick. It might be the this tree on the side. It would be interesting if that's actually contributing, like it's actually doing something good or bad for this illustration. Do we actually need that tree? I guess it kind of depends what I'm going for here. If I want to make it look like it's coming from more forested kind of area into rural, which I think was what I was going with my first sketch. Tricky. I think actually zooming in a bit is actually better. Because I've taken the trees out too, there's a lot of space up here. I can fill that space with clouds, but it's a lot of space to fill. Yeah, I'm not sold on this tree. I think it's... I don't know, it's too stiff or something. Maybe I should bring the branches down a bit more. Yeah, let's play with this tree a bit more. I think it's the branches and the trunk are just a bit too straight and rigid, whereas I want some fun little curves in there. I wasn't paying attention to time either. It's 5:10, so I probably should take a break soon. I might play with this tree a bit and take a 10-minute break. I think I'm too conservative with these branches at the moment. Be a bit more wild. Well, that's an improvement, I think. Before it was just too basic or something. Cool. I like that better. I'm not sure about this straightish line. This branch here, but yeah, I'll just change it now before my break. Alright. We might add some leaves to that as well. Alright, so we're gonna take a 10-minute break and see you back soon.
Having something that you can kind of physically see and be like, this is what it is, this is what it looks like, is a very simple way to just keep story flowing.
It's another tool to communicate to the players what's happening.
Imaginations are endless.
Players who are new into the game, being able to describe, what a crypt or a dais or something is.
I believe we're in the presence of a trap.
With this, it's like, oh, this pops right up on my screen and I can see all this stuff. I don't need to tell anyone about it.
That is amazing. That's so good.
Oh yeah, look at that. Dang.
To have that visualization right there. Pretty impressive, yeah.
Having the visuals, it kind of brings it into a cool world.
This is the second time I played D&D. The first time I played, I actually filled in for a guy that couldn't make it to a session. I made his character completely chaotic evil
I could probably help you out of there, but you're gonna have to give me that coin pouch.
and killed the entire party I was with, and yeah, I can't really play with those guys anymore. Because my perception is usually pretty high, I can see a lot of things that the other people can't see, which means that I can kind of take advantage of situations a lot easier than I would be able to in just a normal tabletop standard. Like, it'd be very hard to be like, hey guys, I know the Dungeon Master just said I've got all this stuff in the corner, but don't look at it because you characters can't see it.
I believe you're in the presence of a trap.
With this, it's like, oh, this pops right up on my screen and I can see all this stuff and I don't need to tell anyone about it.
Oh, that's
played it, never played anything interactive. It was always on my bucket list. I've always seen it on movies, my friends play it, and I heard that it's like really immersive and that it can last for months.
Oh yeah, look at that.
I couldn't fathom how gameplay works like that. Like tailoring that some people could see certain things and then like other players couldn't. When they said it's all your imagination, I'm like, what? Like anything?
I'm gonna run up to one of them and like hook my bow over its head, draw it back, and like decapitate one.
Imagination is endless, and I think having the visuals, it kind of brings it into a cool way.
Welcome back. Alright. Let's get back into it. For anyone who may have just joined us, I'm illustrating some Call of Cthulhu themed cards. And this here is a roadway, a rural roadway. So during the break, I realized that something that might make all this look better. I feel like this whole section here could be moved down a bit. Now doing that is going to be annoying because I've got so many different layers, but it might be worth me flattening some of these layers so I could actually do that. Basically what I'm feeling like is that at the moment the foreground is very open and there's not much going on. Then it gets really squished as it gets closer, so I just want to add a bit more space so that this bit here is a little bit more drawn out. And I think that'll just make the flow of the image a bit nicer, because at the moment the eyes, I don't know, it's the front's very dominant or something. So okay, let's hope I don't regret this, but I'm gonna save this first. Probably should have saved it during the break. Okay. Pathway. Yeah, so I'm thinking of calling this card, Roadway. My working title. Alright, now I'm gonna flatten a bunch of these layers so I can move some things. Well, actually, before I do that, I'm still not happy with this rock, so I'm going to bring it out a bit. I think what I'm not liking about this rock is that these other ones get thicker as they get to the ground, whereas this one was just kind of consistent. So I want to bring out the base. Alright, that probably could use a bit more work, but I'll flatten everything first. I think that's an empty layer. I want to keep the tree out of it. Here, I'll include you. I'll leave that. And I want to leave the fence in as well, so now I'm going to merge all these together. Alright, so that's just one layer now. Then what I want to do is keep the foreground. I'm gonna keep this bit for now. Okay, so I just made that on its own layer. And that's all on its own layer. So now I'm going to bring that down because I think this will look better. I have to redraw the rodent thing back there. I think that feels a bit better. Like now your eye is more gradually getting towards the detail here. Whereas before it was very dominant on the front, so let's just get a comparison there. Yeah, nice. Yeah, I think that's nice. I want to keep this this horizontal kind of line there because that's almost a third, and the rule of thirds makes it so that looks. So I want to keep that there. Yeah, so I'm happy with that. That ended up working. This foreground piece though, I feel like needs to kind of curve around with the road a bit more. Oh, it was curving around with the road, it was just off screen. Which is why I have that layer in the first place. Okay. Cool. Actually tempted to put like another rock here or something. Not sure. Could just be really bold and just put like another pointy, jagged rock here. Kind of interesting. It does break the bit of kind of breaks how all the ones on this side are kind of curving that way and these are all curving that way. I don't hate it, but I don't think it's the right thing. The easiest thing to do would just continue the grass around. Maybe I should, just to keep the foreground a bit simple. I'll just draw in grass for now. Need to be a bit being too thin with these lines in the foreground at the moment, I think. Okay. Now I'm missing something there. Oh. Other stuff's more important. I have realized that this rock is not pointy and all the others are. Just wondering if I should do something about that. maybe this rock should be different. Yeah, I think I'll leave it for now. Okay. Let's get back down to business back here. Gonna have to redraw how this all connects. Well, there could be like a little kind of pathway off here actually. That's meant to be like a farm. Ooh. This very much feels like the road's curving like there, so I have to redraw that. I like the idea of having like a little path here. Kind of breaks this road's a pretty much like stereotypical wavy road right now, so that breaks it up a bit. Okay, so that might be what we're looking at. I'm not sure about this. This road leading to the town is a bit awkward still. Maybe we should just go like that. This is it's too perfect for like a burnt out farm. It'll be interesting how this detailing goes with the farms and stuff, because some of it might end up coming out more in the colour than in the line work. Alright, I'm gonna start drawing this. What I'm going to do is not do too much detail in these buildings for now. I'm just going to draw them like silhouettes because just go back to the cemetery one. See how in the background here I've basically done very little detail and kind of silhouetting, and since I'm thinking of doing a nighttime setting for this card as well. I might end up doing a similar thing. And if I end up doing something else and needing more detail, I can just draw it in when I'm doing the color phase. I said that and then I started doing detail. Alright. probably throw some darker shading here actually. I said I wasn't going to do much detail, but I've kind of started going into detail a little bit, so I can always reduce. There'll probably be a moon or something somewhere. Although I do have a moon here, and I don't want to get too repetitive. I like how these are a little bit. This is a little bit wonky. Like the church is a bit. Oof. Maybe that works there. Probably getting ahead of myself, but I'm trying to figure out actually what I'm going to do with the coloring, because I was going to do nighttime setting, but it might end up being a bit repetitive, so maybe I should do something like a sunset or something. Just actually going to go back to slideshow, just take a look at these cards. So the street card was night setting as well. It's really easy just to get caught in the trap of doing night cards for these, because you go, oh, it's Cthulhu, you want creepy. Nighttime obscures a lot of things. It's the prime time for creepy things. Yeah, so I've done dark nighttime settings a fair bit. What I could do is do the moon in the nighttime, then have like a pinkish glow in the distance. Might make it a little bit different. So that doesn't concern me too much now that I'm in the line phase, but it might affect how I do some of these dark shadows. feel like I've done a lot of triangle house kind of buildings here, and I should change it up a little bit. I'm not sure where I'm going with this building. Feels a lot more detailed than the other ones, but that's okay. You can always go back and change some things. That's right, I was thinking of putting a signpost somewhere. Where should that go though? I think this church is throwing me off because it almost looks like you're looking slightly down on it, which makes no sense. It's because of these lines. That's just a mess. I want a signpost, I think. I just don't know where to put it. I could just put it in the foreground. It might be too distracting though. I guess I could make a smaller one in the distance back here actually. I want it to be like a bit broken. So it was going to be a signpost with like just like a single post and then horizontal signs, but now I'm not sure. I kind of want to put another post in. I feel like I'm getting a bit carried away with the details here. Yeah, I'll just leave that there. I did want a windmill in here somewhere. Now I've kind of gone into the windmill territory, so I'm gonna bring that over. That might work. Alright. Put this one in the X. I can already predict that I'm drawing it too big. Alright, that's not working. I'm trying to figure out what shape I want for this lighthouse. Needs to probably be pretty generic because it's so far back. I want it to look like a windmill. I didn't think it would be this difficult to do a simple windmill. Just because it's so far away. Does that even look like a windmill? I'll just leave that as is. 'Cause I feel like I'm getting too carried away. Alright. Okay, I'm gonna try and draw some overgrown crops or something here. Just realized that I at some point took out my scarecrow. Bring back the scarecrow. Yeah, a monster for taking away the scarecrow. I think that's why I did this tree. I'm like, something's missing. What is it? Oh, this is actually pretty tricky to draw without getting into much detail. Because that's probably way too much detail right there. I'm gonna try and redraw that. Started a poll about the scarecrow. Can I even see the results? How do I see the results? Actually don't know how they work. Click on the link. Verify vote. You could just, I don't know. What a great result. Nah, I'm not mad. I think we do need the scarecrow in here. Although, I could save a scarecrow for another card. Probably not a card on its own though. I mean, it could. That's true. Be like a reference. Yeah, a card on its own sounds great, but it's part of like the issue I have with these cards is that there's a few things that you could do. You got to try and pick the best one. So if it means not doing something else that's a better idea, then I won't do it. But we'll see. I'm actually gonna bring up. I go to card types really quick. If I did a scarecrow, I could do a creepy scarecrow in Mythos, or artifact, maybe. But like, you could kind of see my problem because at the moment, it could be horror. The horror is the monster card, so that's like, it is a horror, is what that is. And those are tricky. I could do like a scary scarecrow monster, but I'm trying to remember what I actually had for this one. For this suit, I think I had planned for the horror card to be like just a mass of fleshy stuff, like a really gruesome mass of fleshy bits and stuff. So I could incorporate a scarecrow into that, I suppose. I'm pretty happy with how that has turned out. That's much better than what I drew originally. Like this little overgrown crop. It's meant to be more farms. I'm just kind of experimenting with different marks here. See what works. Because I don't think I've had to draw like farmland and line drawings before. Feeling like some like stripy lines could kind of indicate the rows of farm. It's kind of working. Mine should be getting thinner as it gets back there. I don't know why I'm doing this, because this probably could be done. Like, this line details could probably be done in color. I'll leave them as is for now, because I can always erase them. Let's get back in this. The burnt out shed or something. No. This can be a bit wonky because it's meant to be burnt out and in ruins anyway. Just thinking the lines around these posts because they're in the foreground. Okay. This church still looks a bit wrong to me. It's 6:10 now. I think I'll probably wrap it up around 6:30. Alright, still haven't got our scarecrow yet. And I should put it somewhere. Alright, I'll put the scarecrow in. Oh, have we reached affiliate? Nice. Goals reached. Alright, that deserves scarecrow. Not that I was gonna do that anyway. I'm already putting too much detail into the scarecrow. Now it's really hyped up. I want to put more creepy details in it, but it just doesn't make sense to do it because it's going to be tiny. I mean, if I mess with the scale a bit, it's fine. That works. Is that a good enough scarecrow for you? Alright. I ended up getting caught up with the details more than I expected with this one. I thought I had it mostly worked out in the sketch, but nope. I'm just wondering what to do with the sky now, because what did I do here? I didn't have many leaves on these trees. That's right, I had a thought before of just doing some weird... having some weird, like, technical thingies that could be confused for grass at first. Coming out in the front here. That works. Long, thin. Almost look like little hair particles or something. Don't know if it's gonna work, but I like the idea of it. Maybe. I got 15 minutes before I'll probably head off, so trying to think of some cool thing. Oh, what's happening? Breeze coming down at a good angle because there's some character with the rock. Alright. Alright. Honestly, I think I just need to play around with the sky and see what happens. So first thing I'm gonna try is use. I probably need some more branches. Okay, some leaves there. Might do one that's like falling down. Some misc leaves coming down there. Do something. These branches and this tree back here are kind of going nowhere at the moment. Okay. That filled out some of that space. A lot of more fine details than I expected here. Feels like this tree should actually move down now. See what it looks like. Let's see what that. Do I need the trunk in the image is a question. Maybe I don't. Either way, I think it's better moved down a bit. I'm not sure about the leaves on this tree. But I'll leave it as this for now. Tidy this up. Alright, I guess I will do some more details on the front here on the road. We want some little rocks and pebbles and gravel kind of texture. And probably want some fallen leaves as well. We could do something like tracks. This is another thing. I think next time I pick this up I'll have a bit more of a think of what kind of details we want to add to this. Because my mind is kind of thinking a few things. So we could do some creepy plants and vegetation that look a little bit strange and alien. yeah, we could do tracks. As if something strange has been here. We want less detail as it gets further in the background there. Alright. Oop, yeah, it's pretty much 6:30 now. Yeah, I might wrap it up there. I think I'm happy with how it's going. It's there's no proper focal point yet. And I think I need to play with some of the line thickness to get that depth really going. But yeah, there's some few interesting things going on in it. Alright. So I guess I'll wrap it up there. So thank you everyone for watching. If you're interested in getting any of the cards, we'll show you where to get them. You can go to ardentroleplay.com/cards, which will bring up this page. You can view our cards in a free image gallery, or you can print out some free PDFs that we have, or you can buy some premium printed cards. So you can go to the image gallery here. So you can use all these cards for free. Got High Fantasy and Cthulhu at the moment. And if you go to the PDFs, you can get these through drive-through. So we got some free PDFs you can get, but you can also through drive-through you can also buy some premium cards as well. Yep, and there's more information about the cards. Actually updated this website last night. It's got more information on it now. Yeah, we actually have a stream this Saturday. Jacob is going to be running the Veil of Dusk, which has been our fortnightly game where he uses Ardent Roleplay, augmented reality with his players. So if you're keen to catch that, it's Saturday 2 PM I believe. It's in our Twitch schedule anyway. So yeah, thank you for watching. See you next time.
having something that you can kind of physically see and be like, this is what it is, this is what it looks like, is a very simple way to just keep story flowing.
It's another tool to communicate to the players what's happening.
Imaginations are endless.
Players who are new into the game, being able to describe, what a crypt or a diath or something is.
I believe we're in the presence of a trap.
With this, it's like, oh, this pops right up on my screen and I can see all this stuff and I don't need to tell anyone about it.
That is amazing. That's so good.
Oh yeah, look at that. Dang.
To have that visualization right there. Pretty impressive, yeah.
Having the visuals, it kind of brings it into a cool world.